Hey, Seisiger, I'm with Rian. Rian is a magnet student, and he is doing a Google Science project and being featured as one of our top six. Rian, what is it exactly that you did this year?
So for this year's GSP, I created a machine learning model that can predict whether or not a person has diabetes. My vision was to incorporate this model into a free and easy to use app that could provide people a way to screen for this condition themselves. And I named this app Diabilities, which predicts the diabetes status of a user based on their answers to a brief questionnaire and delivers a very high overall accuracy of 96%, including more than a 99% accuracy for a diabetic or pre-diabetic person.
So we're learning about diabetes in our new Amplify curriculum. One of our the patients in the story has diabetes. Did that influence you, or did you know that going in, or what was the rationale for doing diabetes?
I guess so the reason I made my project about diabetes is because I knew that I wanted to do a GSP in the medical field, and specifically I wanted to use technology to improve a current process. And while working on, remember the earlier Science of Diets case study? That's when I actually learned some startling facts about diabetes, including that it's one of the top causes of deaths worldwide, and that an estimated 96 million people in the US alone have prediabetes, and 37 million in the US have diabetes, and that 80% of people with prediabetes don't even know that they have it, while 20% of people with diabetes don't know that they have it. And these facts inspired me to address this issue by finding a better way for people to check whether or not they have diabetes so that they can take action.
So let's talk about the actual experiment here. What did you do?
So for my experiment, the first thing I did was I collected the materials I needed. Now I didn't need a lot. All I used was a laptop that had a connection to the internet and a Google account. And I started by, because the main thing that I changed throughout my GSP was the number of input variables into my model, and I had 21 total. So at first I started by defining 5 groups of input variables. So the first one had 5 input variables, the next one had 10, then 14, and so on until I had all 21. And then I predicted that as I increased the number of factors I input into my model's accuracy would go up and achieve more than a 95% accuracy. Then I went into actually making my machine learning model, which I used a random forest classifier, which is a way to make a machine learning model from coding. I utilized that to make my model, and then I inputted the factors for each separate test into my model, and then I've recorded the accuracy. And the last thing I did was take this machine learning model and implement it into an app that I created, which used HTML and CSS for front end and Python for the back end model. And this basically resulted in a free and easy to use app that could predict diabetes with a very high accuracy.
So you took your actual code then and created an app to use it with, and
Exactly.
package that all
Yeah.
into a nice little product. Okay,
Right.
very cool. And it was up to a 99% accuracy, you said, or how accurate was the code in the model at the end of
Yes.
the day?
Yes, the overall accuracy of my project was 96%, but it was able to predict diabetes accurately 99% of the time and pre-diabetes accurately 99.75% of the time. And I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, that's not easy to do. Oh, and here's your app. Okay, yeah, and then this is the one you made. Very cool. Okay, so I guess I need to have a couple questions for you here, buddy.
Mhm.
The first one is, what's innovative and just different and unique? What's changing the world? How are you changing the world and doing something that's not just a science fair experiment, but more of like an innovative design concept about your idea here?
Sure. So my project can help efficiently screen for diabetes, which can hopefully increase its awareness and allow people to learn that they have it early on so that they can take preventative action and manage it better. And this will save millions of lives, especially for people with limited or no access to medical facilities if this was implemented correctly. And another feature in my app, the Health Official Dashboard, compiles diabetes statistics by various demographics and lifestyles to help those officials find trends and promote appropriate public policy to save even more lives.
Got it. Okay. So, and this is all right here in your app that you made. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of code did you use?
Okay, so I used a variety of programming languages. The main two I used were HTML/CSS and Python. So Python I used to create my machine learning model, and HTML/CSS I used to create the app's front end. I also used Visual Studio Code, which is a free code editor, to organize all my code, and Google Colab, which is a Google service for creating programs to initially test and optimize my machine learning model's accuracy. Finally, I used Flask API, which is a Python library add-on, to combine the backend or the machine learning model with my front end HTML, CSS.
Awesome. Well, and my final question, what's one struggle and one success throughout your journey and your process, Rian?
Sure. So I think a major struggle I faced while making my project was actually learning machine learning, because I've never dabbled in this area before this project. And it was
Wow.
really hard to learn the entire concept in just 2 months, because machine learning is so diverse in its implementation that it was hard to learn everything. But I was able to do it with help from online resources, which allowed me to create this project. And my biggest success in this project would definitely be going through the process of identifying a problem that can be made better with science, and ultimately creating this real life solution that can potentially save so many lives. And that is the biggest learning to be taken while doing a GSP. And being able to do all that with time and budget constraints was the ultimate success for me in this project.
And you should be very proud of yourself. I think you make a lot of, you know, your class of eighth graders and Magnet proud because of your work ethic and your ability to be so diverse in so many different ways. You know, I think you have a lot of different talents in so many different ways, and you showed them all on display here. So I for sure hope you continue doing more things that inspire you, and I hope you continue to have that growth mindset when it comes to trying new things, such as, you know, machine learning and so forth, and learning how it all works. So great job, and
Thank you.
great momentum, and I love the fact that you're our finalist twice in 2 years here. So be proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.